All right. Hello, all you beautiful, wonderful, amazing, spectacular tea people. I am trying to triple live stream. Maybe I won't spend the, I, I won't spend, maybe I don't need to spend the extra $25 a month for Yard Stream to get multiple videos going. But I'm going to try YouTube and Facebook and Instagram all at the same time, and we'll see how it goes. So, jumping in for a test of all these various things. So, testing out the 3 different streams, see if they all work out okay. I'm getting confirmation from various things that it's working out okay. And I'm jumping the gun here. I'm going to warm up my vessels. So, just posted a blog, an AI content blog, AI content policy blog. So, just to let you know, I have no plans on using generative AI, but if Mountain Stream Teas ever does, then you will know, because in the post, I will put that there is generative AI, and there will be a very, very, very good description, a deep description of what it was that I actually generated using the AI. So I have no plans on doing that anytime in the future, but just to let you know, that policy is now official. It's an official policy, and if it does happen in the future, I will be posting about it and writing about it. I also put a lot of stuff in that post, so I don't know whether that is. I put a lot of stuff in that post actually, and so. Anyways, we'll see what happens with it. I don't think anything's really going to happen with it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens with it. Anyways, what's going on today? As you can see behind me, it is an absolutely beautiful, blustery fall day. And the reason I say beautiful, even though it's kind of windy and kind of cold, is because finally, I am not sweating. Because the fall has finally arrived to the back porch of the Mountain Stream Teas headquarters in Hualien. And so it is a little bit of blustery weather, and I'm so happy. I'm also happy because I get to try some of the wintertime teas. Now, how does all this work? My friends make tea, and when they make tea, they will send me something that looks kind of like this, right? So they'll send me something that kind of looks like this, and actually, well, I'll tell you what I did in a second, but I did something kind of dumb. Anyways, they sent me one of these, and what this is because I was looking at it, I was like, "What's going on? Is this the right? What's going on?" I figured out what I've done wrong. Anyways, what they do is they send me one of these, and in it is a sample amount of the tea that they make for the various years. Now, what this is, these two, not so much this one, doesn't look like it. It's a very different tea. Is they in there will be a sample amount of what they made for the season. And what do they make for the season? At this time of the year, they're making, of course, the wintertime teas. And the wintertime teas are being picked right now. This year, the springtime teas were beautiful. The sort of late summer teas were also pretty good. The August and September teas were decent. They were okay. They weren't special. They weren't really, really good, but they were okay. But then it sort of has rained and then not rained, and then it's kind of touch and go for the wintertime teas. I don't know whether they're going to be all that good. The fall time teas were okay. They were okay. Springtime teas were pretty good. Fall time teas were okay. We're just going to have to see what's going on with the teas right here. But I am happy. This is the first wintertime tea we've gotten in. This is the wintertime the wintertime, the Alpine Winter tea. And so this tea has been released. Now, they sent me the sample of this tea in the exact same package, but this one is not actually the same tea. It's probably from the same garden, but it was in my pile of samples, and I stupidly picked up the wrong one that was in the same package. But when I get the teas in, I have to open up the package, open up the like they come in a big bag, right? Big huge bag. I have to open it up. I've got to take out some of that tea and put it beside the sample that I get in, and I put the two together and I drink them together, just to make sure 100% that that is the same tea. The same tea that I sampled before that I'm going to be drinking now. It's the exact same tea. And the reason I have to do that, of course, is because, as a tea gambler, I have to get a lot of like really, really big bags of teas that cost thousands of dollars for like huge bags of teas. Well, usually it's multiple big bags of tea. And so this actually makes me feel good. Where are the teas from? So this is the Alpine Wintertime. I think this, looking at the leaves, and we'll take out the leaves in a minute and I'll show you the difference. I'm pretty sure this is the Alpine, or the honey fall Alpine, the fall Alpine honey. Anyways, we'll get to it in a second. But these two teas are out of the big bag, and they're actually really, really good. So there is the Chilai area. And what happened with the Chilai area, there's the Chilai High Mountain Black that's really, really good. But then I met a friend and at the tea show last year, and I started buying his teas, and he's also from the Chilai area. And his teas are, when it comes to sort of the oolong style teas, his teas are slightly better than the other one. His white tea, for example, amazing. And I feel so bad because I launched that white tea, the Alpine White, right at the moment that I wish more people could get it. But anyways, whatever. But this is the Alpine Garden. So this is actually from Chilai, but I changed the name to go to Alpine, to change it to Alpine, just to denote that it's a different garden than the Chilai High Mountain Black, which is also for sale at the moment. For our unfortunate American friends, not particularly available. Although, why don't I mention it now? Wow. This is an amazing tea. I'm blown away by this tea. This is even better than the sample that I got. This is beautiful. And I wish I could buy more. I can't. So the rumor is that the sanctions against the American population might be slightly mitigated. Maybe. I think I heard a rumor. I don't know. It's from a guy that, anyway, some of the people that I get to interact with on this while I'm talking to my phone and all these things are just the most amazing people. And this source that I heard, anyways, the rumors is that the Washington D.C. establishment type of situation, the rumors going around are that they're going to be dropping back some of the American sanctions and sort of pulling out some things like overseas products that don't grow in the United States. Tea, right? Tea. Like, wars have been fought over tea, and my guess is the fact that they're sanctioned are there's some people. I know for a fact there are some really interesting people that drink high quality agrochemical-free Taiwanese teas. And those folks are, they're like, where's my tea? Why can't I get my tea? And so my hope is that tea is going to be sort of pried from the dull-eyed grips of the sanctions against the American public. And so I'm hoping that happens soon. And you know what? It really might. It really might. Americans just need help from smugglers. You know, it's funny. There's a lot of people having birthdays this month that I know. A lot of people having birthdays. It's just amazing. And I'm so happy that I'm still able to send to those people that have birthdays in the month of October and November. And I'm able to send them birthday presents from Taiwan. I'm so happy. Yeah, it's such a good thing. But you know what's funny? You mentioned Americans need help from smugglers. You know what's hilarious? And I didn't actually think this was going to happen, but this week, especially the last couple of days, a lot of people have given up. They've said, okay, it's not going to end. And I'm sending tea all over the world to friends, to Singapore, to England, to various parts of Taiwan. And people are literally like traveling, physically traveling. They're going on trips to these other places, and they're getting tea sent to those places so they can take the tea physically back home with them. And not just for the tea, obviously, but it really blew my mind. I was like, wow, that's just an amazing thing. I'm so happy, appreciative. It's amazing. And anyways, if more I can do to help out for things like that. So the question is, do you have any wild, semi-wild management teas on the website at the moment? Yes, Bird Planted Red is absolutely 100% wild, which you can get in the taste. I got drunk on that the other day for a live stream. Thankfully, I didn't. The shirt stays on. So no, I'm joking, but that tea is a pretty strong one. There is another one that I'm hoping to get in, but actual sort of wild teas. The market for those teas is very, very small. The price of those teas is very, very high. And the price of those teas is getting higher and higher and higher. And the skill of those tea makers has plateaued. And so oftentimes and I'm not talking bad about the semi-wild and things like that, like at all. Please don't take it that way. But if you're not extremely skilled in creating those types of teas, and you just create them in a very normal way, you won't get something really, really special out of the tea leaves. But if you can, then the cost of that is so high. Like I've had hundreds, if not close to 1,000 different sort of wild teas or teas in the wild places. And finding ones that are willing for me to gamble on, for lack of a better way of describing their price and the price that I can sell them again at, they're very, very few, far between, mostly because they're not that. You can get a tea like this and enjoy it just as much. In general, not always, but in general, you can enjoy sort of a tea like this if it's done really, really well. The difference between that and a wild managed tea or wild or semi-wild tea, oftentimes the differences aren't that great for the vast majority of them. So Bird Planted Red, I'm going to try and get. I've got the sort of the semi-wild tea balls. I'll probably call them semi-wild tea balls. That's a good way. That's the but also the hybrid Formosensis tea ball. It's a good name for them. Anyways, I'm going to get those in. I'm trying to think. I'm putting my brain through the warehouse here, and I think that's about it for now. That's about it for now. It isn't a market that I've gone too deep into. But you know what I will do is when I get my brick and mortar shop, I will, because I can buy 600 grams of it, have it in the shop, because it's also one of those things, because they're so expensive, right? They're so expensive that if somebody gets it and they're disappointed by it, it's not worth my time. It's not worth their time. So when I've got my brick and mortar shop, and I'll be able to say, hey, listen, this is really expensive tea. Try it first, and if you like it, then buy it. And because it's so hard on the internet. Anyways, any follow-up questions about that, throw it in the chat. Happy to talk about it for sure. I was considering having you send me tea in Hong Kong this week. Well, that's it exactly, right? I'm sending tea to a lot of care of this week, and I'm absolutely loving it. And again, I'm just touched. I'm like, really awesome. That's great. It's definitely not. It's none of our fault, right? Nobody's sitting here. It's none of our fault. So I've just been waiting it out. People have said to me, I'll pay the extra $800. Just ship it to me. We can get some friends. It's like, no, we can all wait a month or two. I don't feel like feeding that beast. Anyways. That's interesting. Thanks for sharing. What about natural farming kind of teas? No fertilizer. That would be over 50% of the teas on the site. Low impact, um, like like agrochemical fertilizers, like I maybe one or two on the site. Uh, maybe three or four on the site. But if there is fertilizers, they're definitely organic. And I would say 30 to 40% of the teas on the site are sort of natural farming or whatever you want to call it. A lot of the teas are just not made in the quantities that they would go and get it organic certified. And the question was about wild farming. Wild farming often has a connotation that comes in a white shirt with a buckle here that raises the price of everything by like 300%. And so that's tough. That's tough for me. And again, it's not necessary that it's that much better. So, and not to say it's not a value judgment on the white shirt that with the little buckle here. It's just that the white shirt with the buckle here costs 300% more, baseline. And that's not a value judgment, just a statement of fact. And so I would say a lot of the teas. If you're curious about it, just let me know, like a specific tea. I'm thinking about the cases where they only we feed the weeds plants as fertilizers without fertilizer coming from outside the farm, whether it's organic or not. And there's a lot of the teas like that. And some teas, I would say the vast majority of the teas on the site, certainly from various gardens, is they would use anything that was not from the actual soil in the sense of just turning over the weeds and things like that. The only reason they would be adding in extra something is if there's something wrong with the plants, and that's most of the gardens. And so for example, like if there was a section of the garden that just wasn't, it was looking a little sickly, they might see what's wrong with the soil. They might add something to the soil to help out that part of the garden. I think your question and what you really want to get at is the low intensity wild farming stuff. And that stuff it's really hard to find the value proposition if you're away from Taiwan. If you're in Taiwan and you actually go and try and find those places and see those people, they're few and far between, but you can find them and you can definitely get those teas. The problem is just that they don't produce a lot of the tea, and the cost is very, very high. And so, it's really, really tough to make a business off of that, basically, is what it boils down to. It's really, really tough. Like I said, when I have the brick and mortar shop, it's definitely going to happen, right? I'm going to have those types of teas and be able to sell them to people. Like they're the back shelf teas. They're the teas that are in the back. They're the teas like, to tell the story. I'll tell this story. So my son is, from the time he was very, very small, we take him to the park and he'd just pick up money. And be like, how the hell did you find that? Like, it's just ingrained into him. And so he loves coins. When we were in Canada, we went to a coin shop. And there's all the silver coins laid out, and we're talking with the guy. And then and then my son asks him, he says, "Do you sell gold coins too?" And he looks at my son and he goes, "If you ask the right questions, I do." And that's sort of what you're looking at, like, for this type of thing. They didn't lay the gold coins out, but they had gold coins in the back. And if you ask nicely or you ask the right questions in the right way, then you get access to the gold coins. And I think for a lot of the wild style teas, that is the way that the market works. And it's really hard to do unless you're actually in person with somebody. Like, I would never buy sort of a wild tea online because there's just no guarantee that it would actually taste good or it was from where they said it was from. Susan Pien. So the Susan Pien teas, I think I still have some of the roasted teas left on the site. The bird planted red for sure. And other than that, I can't think of any. But I hope that answers the question. I hope that helps you get into sort of my mind space for that type of stuff, because I definitely don't want to, like, I love those teas, right? I love them. That's, if I could, that's the only thing I'd buy. But okay, here we go. Last, I'll finish up with this. Taiwanese wild grown teas are the equivalent of 1,000-year-old trees or Taiwanese equivalent of 1,000-year-old tea trees in Yunnan province. They exist, but the stuff that actually get exported have already gone through all the people that get their hands on it first. So unless you're extraordinarily lucky, have really good connections, or it's extraordinarily overpriced, you're probably not going to get your hands on it in Taiwan. It's really, really hard to get. It's really, really hard to get. And I have some, but if I could drink that every day, I would. Absolutely. But the cost-benefit analysis for teas like this, which are grown in a garden, there's no agrochemical fertilizers, there's no pesticides and herbicides. They use like sometimes they use peanut husks, sometimes they use the leftovers from making bean curd, the soybean shells, right? So stuff like that. And that's what they use sort of as an input. And, you know, the price point's like $0.25. You know, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Again, this is the Alpine Winter. So the people who are on, let's see if anybody on Facebook is actually watching. Oh, I can't tell. I don't know. Anyways, Facebook and YouTube. I hope the sound is not too bad. Seems like the sound is okay for Instagram, because I've got my fancy talking device. But it's starting to rain. It's starting to rain. Haven't been keeping up with your business recently. What's going on with the heicha like previous years? Well, thanks for opening up that wound. I haven't thought about that in a while. Joking, of course. But last I heard, the fellow that makes those, makes the heicha has been ill. I haven't talked to him in a couple of years. But the person I mentioned earlier, the Susan Pien, he has been going down there and trying to find these teas as well. Because anyways, I sold him on those teas. So he's been going down there. And I saw him at the tea show. And we were talking shop about it. Anyways, the option is always there that it might happen again, that I might be able to get the heicha, that I might be able to get those types of teas, those Taiwanese pour style teas. But the mafia-esque Guangxi strange inconsistencies of that area make it basically a very, very difficult proposition. Now, I may decide to take up that proposition, maybe if I have some more time. But right now, I'm unfortunately not taking up that proposition. Yes, I'm also very sorry to hear that. It sucks, but it's the nature of the beast down there, because that area where the Camellia formosensis grows, there's literally no soil, right? No soil. It just grows out of the rocks. And so some years there's no pick. And some years there's a lot, right? If it rains, then the tea trees will put out a lot. If it doesn't rain, there's nothing there, like literally nothing. And so being able to consistently get the tea and consistently having the quality and things like that is really, really hard, which brings, and then you add in the whole mafia aspect to it. It's like, you know, this year you help me out, I'll help you out with some tea, but there's no tea this year, so it goes to next year. But then this other guy helps this other person out during that year. And so now there's two people claiming the harvest from the next. I mean, it's just insane. I still have quite a few cakes left. I'll savor them. You should. You should. I mean, who knows? Maybe in the future they'll be. Nah, you drink them. I highly doubt that Mountain Stream Teas will be famous enough for reselling. The sound of the rain is very pretty. Well, I'll tell you, we had about 6 weeks of 32 degrees, 80% humidity, and 100% sun without an ounce of moisture, 6 weeks in a row. And I am not complaining, but I'm enjoying the rain. I am enjoying the rain. I am enjoying the rain a lot. So let's see. YouTube seems to be going okay, and the Facebook also seems to be going okay. I can't tell how to tell if there's. Oh, okay. Here we go. Okay, I got zeros all the way through, so nobody's watching on Facebook, but it's the first time I've done it in a very long time. So we'll see. But anyways, have a go. You too as well. Enjoy those cakes. Keep them safe. They are rare, beautiful teas. I've got some in on the shelf here, and I will put them up. And it'll be one of those. Somebody says to me, "Oh, do you have any Taiwanese pu'er?" And I go, "Taiwanese pu'er? I don't know if Taiwanese pu'er, if there is such a thing." If you ask the right question, right? If you ask the right question. So again, what's the story behind this tea? This fresh tea was just made last week, and you can see it's green and it's thick, and it's green, thick, affordable, from the same garden as the Alpine Fall Honey, the Alpine Honey Red, and the Alpine White. Same garden as all those. And my first wintertime tea. That is in the shop. I bought it, and this is great. It's really, really good tea. Perfect example. So, for example, when I get my brick and mortar shop, which I'm hoping to do in the next couple months. What is it? Well, it's almost November. Yeah, maybe within 6 weeks I'll have my brick and mortar shop. Hopefully, we're just finishing up the stuff. I'll tell you about it later once I know, or once I have a guess that it's really coming. But I'll have a bigger space, and I'll have a space where I'll start doing whiteboard videos. And I'll be doing whiteboard videos about things like this. So you can see right here, this is a perfect example of a wintertime tea. High Mountain Oolong anyways. You've got the shortish, thick stem, and then you've got the stem coming up like this. That comes up a little ways like this. The leaves are quite thick, although actually it's pretty soft. It's an earlier pick, so the leaves are pretty soft. But this is your really, really classic. Well, this person cheated. Cheater! But basically a very, very standard sort of pick for what you would see in the wintertime picking. And over here, let's just take a look. I haven't tasted it yet. And so here you go. This is much more like a standard fall pick. So this is going to be sort of a fall pick, sort of picked in the summertime. A much bigger, thicker, stem like this, and then a longer stem coming up like this. So this would be a good example of sort of a fast, strong stem coming out like this. And let's see, let me just double check. What is it? It's anyways, from the same garden, but it's the fall pick that I bought anyways. Where will the brick and mortar be? Hualien. Yes, it will be in Hualien. And, if this doesn't go through, then I'll find some other place. But yes, it would be in Hualien, and it would be right downtown. I don't know, anybody out there knows Hualien? You're right beside A-Zone. Actually, you'd be inside A-Zone, but in its own little building off the side in an old. Anyways, whatever. I'll talk about it when it happens. But yes, If you read the recent blog post, actually I put it into the feed, but I put out a recent blog post about in there at the very last paragraph I talk about, unfortunately, what we're doing right here, sort of this interaction that we're having online, is going to be inundated with AI slop before long, and because it's inundated with the slop, we're going to have to get more local, and we're going to have to get more personal connection, and so I'm moving towards that, and then it'll also be just wonderful to be able to have a space to sort of host people to come and visit, because right now I don't have a place to host people when they come and visit, but now I will. Well, soon I will. Anyways, so this I have been steeping for a very, very, very long time, almost 30 minutes. And so let's see how this tastes like. Now, a garden like this with this guy, he's never sent me anything that wasn't exactly what I asked for. There's never been a mix-up, and so I'm not doing this because I'm not doing this because I suspect the person, but I'm at the point in my career as a tea sourcer where I've got enough respect from all the various people that they send me tea and then I send them payment. And I do it like the next day, right? I get the sample, I get the tea, I put them together, I drink it, yes, check mark, and then I send them money. And it's a respect thing. And so I got in this tea today, so I sampled the tea right now, and so I thought, you know what? It's a little late, but maybe the Europeans are having a slow morning, and they have time to like sit and chat about tea, and I guess some of them too. Although there was somebody from Boston who should be sleeping by now. I don't know whether that person is still here, but hopefully you're not drinking tea. That's maybe some insomniacs in the, or I shouldn't say that, people who can't sleep in North America might be able to watch. But the truth was, I just kind of like this tea, and so I wanted to drink a bunch of it, and this isn't my excuse for drinking a bunch of it. There we go. Anything else to cover? Anything else that we need to cover today? Any questions? So throw questions about anything. Yeah, it looks like the Facebook live stream experiment worked. Nobody saw it, but if I was Facebook and somebody decided after a very, very long time to go back and do a live stream, I'd also just be like, let's just make sure it's okay. Nothing controversial over there. It's not selling a cryptocurrency or suddenly trying to scam people for anything. Again, no health claims, none, right? No health claims, just love. Let's see. Yep, YouTube still does it. YouTube gives me hearts when I do that. Let's see, does Facebook do the same thing? I don't know. Does Facebook have like this or like this? Oh, hey, Facebook does it too. Oh no, that's right. They don't do it. It's actually the MacBook that does it. Right. It's actually built into the screen, and so I turned off that strange annoyingness on my phone, but I haven't gotten around to turning it off in the on the computer. Anyways, to recap, the AI policy white paper is out. You can check it out on the blog. There is this tea, which I will do in the next release session, probably first week of November, which I hope will also have our American friends with the ability to join in on the fun, being able to buy some of this beautiful fresh tea. But yes, there will certainly, before the Lunar New Year, the Chinese New Year, there will be a place in Hualien to be able to enjoy high quality agrochemical free tea And if you ask the right questions, get into the back room or be able to try the back room teas anyways. Okay, so there we go. That's it for now. Last call for questions. Again, this is the fall. The Alpine Winter tea, just freshly made last week. I should have most of the wintertime teas in. I mean, I'll get a bunch more at the show. So in like the first week of November, there's the show. So I'll go to that one, get some wintertime teas there. But this is just a nice, clean, full-bodied, smooth, lightly oxidized, as you can see by the color, High Mountain Oolong. All right. So wherever you're in the world you happen to be, I certainly hope you have an amazing morning, night. I hope you sleep well. Have a great day today or when you wake up tomorrow. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next live stream. Now I got to end 3 of them. There we go. 1.